Love, light, and blessings. Shamanic at Work Priestess here, and I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but I've been more present on social media, so aka YouTube. And that's one of the goals that I have set for myself for the remainder of 2021, was to give classes. So, those have sold out. I'm very excited about that. But also to be more present in YouTube, to be making more videos. I've also increased my work hours. So I have more availability because I was getting so behind on my appointments where, in April, people were waiting a month or more, and I just found that to be unacceptable. Even with the expanding number of clients that I have. So this month has been so much more different. Currently, I am, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 appointments, availability, I am pretty much booked up for the month of May, but I still have availability for June 1st, so it's still a less than 2-week wait period, which is kind of my goal when it's very busy like this. 1 or 2 weeks I'm good with. Anything longer than that I don't want. That's why I have increased my work hours. And I also try to record videos either really early in the morning when my kids not yet quiet because they're like getting ready for school, or in the evenings when I'm pretty much done with my work day. Those are the times I record videos, and if my health is permitting. So I started some series like the Tarot series, the Ultra series. I have a paranormal episode that I'm going to be making in the future. I'm going to try to make as soon as possible. My goal is to make it before the end of this month. The reason why those take longer to make is because I watch back my videos. I don't want to talk about redundant things or redundant experiences, so I do watch the videos back. So I have to find time to do that, and those videos tend to be long. I also go through my journals because I do journal my spiritual experiences, and even though I could retell them, it's nothing like reading your journal when things first happen, because you might forget some minute details. So I do go back through my journals, and I've been journaling since I was 15, okay? And I went really, really back in the past with these paranormal series. And some memories are traumatic, so I have to like work through those things, and it makes me very vulnerable. So those are very difficult videos to make, but my goal is to make one before the month's over. Another series that I wanted to start though, because I have several series now, like I have really exciting content this year. I'm really excited about it. All my videos, with very few exceptions, are all pre-planned. Every week I have a certain amount of videos that my goal is to make them. So I know, like, when ideas come to me, I'll write it down in a notebook, and then I'll write it in my calendar on my phone. And so everything's scheduled, okay? Everything is scheduled. Like, I know when I'm going to upload a video, when I'm going to create a video, what time. My day has to be pretty scheduled because, I work an 8-hour work day, sometimes 10, depending on the day. And that's not even counting the nighttime rituals that I do, spell work and stuff for clients. I'm doing readings anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day. I do break those shifts down, so maybe 5 in the morning, 5 hours in the morning, 5 hours in the evening, or 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the evening, okay? 6 days a week. So within all of that, and being a mom and keeping up with my housework and personal things, I also do the best effort that I can to make time to record. So I record in all crazy, wacky hours of the day. When all my kids are sleeping, like there's no, and I'm done with my work day, I do that. So I don't watch a lot of TV, basically. So a lot of people are like, oh, did you watch this series and that series? No. Drinking water because, I just be feeling so dehydrated. It feels like summer, and yeah. But I wanted to make this series, which is basically like a vloggy, personal videos, video diary, whatever, type of chit chat. Because I think like that's kind of fun too, because it kind of like lets you know me in a more personal level. So similar to the spirit chat, but usually the spirit chat has to do with spiritual topics. This can deal with spiritual topics, but this can also just deal with me personally. And one of the things I wanted to vlog about or talk about, because it might be like multifaceted, multiple different topics. I made a video recently. I think it was like a monthly favorites video. And I was talking about how, you know, journaling the things that I eat in my food diary was really helping me to make healthier choices and take care of my body and take care of my health. But I did very quickly mention that I am someone who's recovering from an ED. And I had people private message me, as well as someone actually brave enough on the comment section to say, hey, I do too. It's very refreshing to see someone talk about it so openly. And that's why, one of the reasons why I wanted to make like a vlog series, like a personal thing, because I think sometimes as influencers, as people part of the spiritual community, you might see smiles behind these videos, and think that maybe these people have a perfect life. It's why I'm so open about, you know, my domestic violence history, my, you know, failed marriage, you know, being a single mother, having issues with my dad, like, you know, open, but also there's a lot of things I keep private, but I am open about my struggles because of that reason. I think that a lot of people think in order to be a spiritualist or someone that people can seek counsel from or readings from or spiritual services, that we have to be these perfect people. And human beings in general, right, are imperfect. We are all imperfect. We all have flaws, character flaws. I don't care who you are. We all have our own struggles in life, right? Nobody's life is perfect. And so it's important that people represent that part of it too. It's why I had a series, which I'm going to continue, A Client from Hell. I have a part 2 to that one. Because a lot of people make it seem like it's so easy to go into business for yourself and you're going to be a success overnight. And while I was able to pretty much very quickly gather up clients and leave the psychic hotline and was a very popular psychic on the psychic hotline that I worked on, that isn't going to be everybody's experience, if that makes sense. And also, you know, like, not everyone is going to have a perfect life either. Like I said, we all have our issues. Some people's lives are more imperfect than others. So yes, I do struggle with the ED. I've been having an ED as long as I can remember. When I was and I just want to give a trigger warning if this puts you in a bad mental state or whatever, I understand. So I completely respect if you have to click off the video for mental sanity. But for those of you that want to know, yes, I do have an eating disorder, an ED. And so when I was younger, I was a binge eater. I used to get celebrated for that because I was very, very tiny. I was actually underweight. And, you know, I had a very overactive metabolism when I was younger. And so people would make jokes like, oh my God, give her a whole pizza pie and she'll eat it or whatever. But I had a very traumatizing childhood. You know, it's taken many years of therapy to realize that a lot of my trauma was because of, you know, I went through sexual traumas as a child. I went through sexual trauma as an adult. You know, I am a survivor of rape, molestation, a lot of things. And just a lot of family dysfunction, abuse, like a lot of stuff. So I think that food was the only thing in my life that I could control, is the way that I eat. So at that time I overate, and no one saw the suffering that I was going through because my body was either underweight or a healthy weight. And I kept that going because my eating disorder started around the age of 8 or 9. And then years and years went by, and I became a teenager. And again, I was still underweight. I had the ideal standard of beauty body. I literally was 121 pounds when I was pregnant with my firstborn daughter. I used to get made fun of when I would go to the gynecologist by the other pregnant women because nobody knew I was pregnant. I was literally 6 months, going on 7 months pregnant, and I just looked like I had a little beer belly, like a little, just like a little gut, but nobody knew it was a baby in there. And I used to get, like, basically at that time skinny shamed for being tiny. It wasn't until my daughter, because I had the binge eating situation that whole time. I struggled with food. I gained a lot of weight, but again, because I was such a small framed person, and I was only had gained weight for the pregnancy, again, it was just all belly. Nobody noticed. It wasn't until after I gave birth to my daughter that my metabolism slowed down. So then people started to see me gain weight, okay? And they were like, and that's when the fat shaming began, okay? And I went from binging to binging and purging. I went even into bouts of restrictive eating, of not eating at all. Days and days without eating. I'm not going to go into the behaviors that I did because I don't want to be anybody's inspiration or teach people how to do these things. But let's just say, like, I fluctuated. I went to bouts of just binging, no purging, binging and purging. And I know every time I would lose this, like, amount of weight, oh my goodness, look how small you are. It was all this praise. That praise fed the voice in my head. See, if you don't eat for 3 days, then, you know, and this and that. So it took me a lot of years of therapy. And it wasn't until my body started betraying itself. I was so underweight in my adult life, okay, that I ended up having a heart attack. I have since messed up the lining of my intestines because of the way that I used to purge, okay? I put my life in danger. And I got treatment. But recovery is not beautiful, because during the recovery for years, I was afraid to work out and exercise. I became a plus size person and had to deal with not being in control of how my metabolism has severely slowed down, with the consequences that I had in my body because of all the years of not eating. And if I was eating, I was overeating to then not eat, and all these types of things. And throughout the years, I've gone on crazy crash diets where I would lose a lot of weight, and then the eating disorder will come back, and I will go into treatment, and then I would stop all exercises, all eating well. And it was just so many years of struggling to find balance, something that I felt like everybody else can do. Why can everybody else eat and not have this relationship with food around me? But why was it such a struggle? And unlike a lot of other addictions, okay, we see food in everything. We have to eat to live. And there's so many people out there that I know that struggle. And I feel like sometimes when it comes to EDs, they only show one side of the story. They only show what I used to be, which was the underweight person. And I hear you and I see you. I've been that person. But it's rarely ever the times they show bigger body. Not everybody, but there are people out there with bigger bodies that also have eating disorders, whether that's binging. Some people that are bigger have binging and purging. There are people that have a bigger body frame that restrict their eating. And it's really sad that society praises that. Whatever you're doing, do it. I've heard people with bigger bodies, I haven't ate in a week. And society praises that. I've been just drinking water. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful. And so it took me this year with the pandemic. I was the biggest I ever was. And I was very scared because I was starting to have some health issues where I always tested well being even a bigger person, everything was always healthy, because I believe you can be healthy at most sizes, okay? You, as long as you're healthy, it doesn't matter. But I was starting to see like my sugar was a little high. I wasn't pre-diabetic, but it was higher than usual. That was my wake up call. My knees hurting, me being out of breath when I would go down a flight of stairs. And so this lifestyle, it's not a diet, isn't about so much the pounds on the scale. I want to take my life back. I want to have a healthy relationship with food. I want to eat to live, because I know I have to eat in order to live. I want to be accountable for the things that I put into my body, so that my body, my temple, could work to the best of its abilities. But I don't want to live to eat. I don't want to have a toxic relationship with food. I no longer want to shield my feelings in food. I no longer want to use my body as a cushion, as a shield to protect myself from all the traumas that I've been through and the abuse that I have suffered. So yes, I have lost weight in this process, and I'm happy about that. But my goal is not to reach a beauty standard. If that's what you do, that's what you do. My goal is to eat healthier, because I want to live longer. I want to be healthy. I want to treat my body the best that I can. So this is not about I want to reach this unrealistic standards. I have already done the damage to my body where my metabolism is slower. Okay, I may never be 121 pounds. I may never be a size 6 again. And that's okay. After this journey is over, I might stay plus size. And you know what? Whether you're little, whether you're medium built, whether you are in a bigger body, your body is beautiful. You matter. Stop punishing yourself because you don't fit into what society wants you to be. And if you're struggling with the ED, you are not alone. And I just feel like that's so important, that as spiritual beings, we're not afraid of being vulnerable and letting our viewers know that we understand. Just like I suffer from ED, I suffer sometimes from severe anxiety. I literally had severe anxiety today. And I went to my cards. I pulled like 3 cards, okay? Because I didn't know what to do. I was like, I have to work today. I have to, be productive. And not just work today. I have to function. I have children and all that, And I used my Orisha Tarot. I pulled the Queen of Swords, which I so relate to her. Yes, I'm not an air sign, but I relate to her on an emotional level, because the Queen of Swords is a very honest person, often a misunderstood person, because the Queen of Swords is very honest. The Queen of Swords has been through a lot. And so a lot of people misunderstand the Queen of Swords and think that this person is just bitter or cold-hearted. And a lot of times I'm not very expressive in my regular life. And some people might think that that's mean or cold-hearted, but it's not. It's a person who's been through things, has grown from that pain, and has become a stronger person. So I'm like, that literally relates. That's a great way for me to understand I am imperfect. I will give these clients great readings today, okay? And I will do some self-care today. Like, I'm going to put myself first, so I did some self-care, gave some great and amazing readings today. Cannot wait to give the evening readings today. So yeah. The next card that I pulled was from the Archangel Oracle, and it said breathe. Because I was like, what do I need? So that's what I literally did. I did a nice, beautiful heart chakra meditation with Archangel Raphael, and it was so healing for me. Like, it literally made me feel better. It helped to calm my anxiety down, because I was literally like shaking from the inside. It's a lot of people misuse the word anxiety and it's really you're nervous. And there's a big difference between being nervous and actually having a full out anxiety or panic attack. That's what was happening to me today. And I had to like quiet my mind. I literally felt like I was shaking inside and having really unrealistic like thoughts, intrusive thoughts, okay? And I want you to know that like a lot of spiritual people on YouTube, I watch YouTube, do struggle with mental health issues as well. It's a lot of us that have used tarot as healing, our spirituality, and that's what I do. Like literally, one of the spirits that I have such an intense and amazing relationship is with Obatala, because he literally rules over the mind and any type of disabilities, and even because that is a form of a disability, any type of mental health issues. Like he literally helps you with that. He protects you. He guides you. He heals you. So I was channeling that energy this morning, you know. And the last card that I pulled is from Messages from Your Angels. And it was the Ariel card. And it says, new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself. Allow your spiritual gifts to open through study, prayer, and meditation. So I did the meditation. It confirmed again the meditation. I did pray. And I did study in the sense of analyzing myself, right? And kind of like making space for me to feel anxious. Kind of, because to me study also means like analyze. So analyzing in what ways I can take back my power, that kind of thing. And also allowing myself to be imperfect. I am not perfect. And I think like a lot of times when people want to get into maybe opening up a spiritual business, we have this illusion of thinking that we have to be this perfect guru, this perfect mentor, and we could never be flawed. No, psychics, intuitives, and spiritualists and influencers and all of that, and I'm going to stay in my lane with the spiritual community, are all human beings. We all have struggles. And yes, I'm in a better place mentally than I've been in so many years. I mean, my situation was so bad in like some other parts of my life where I couldn't even function, because mental illness can be very debilitating. And meditation has helped me a lot, which I'm actually going to have a series where I'm actually going to meditate with you. So you're going to meditate with me. I have series where you're going to witchy with me. Like I'm going to be doing things while we're talking, and you know, maybe live streaming it or recording it while I'm doing little spiritual things. I want you guys to know me on a more intimate level, not just as your reader, but as a human. And things like that. So I have a lot of exciting ideas and videos coming up, and I just really just basically want to do these chats to let you guys know, like, you can be imperfect and spiritual. We are human, okay? We are not God. We're not goddesses. We are human beings, and we have our flaws, you know, and we all have our issues. And, you know, if you're struggling with any type of issues like that, don't be afraid to get help. I feel like whatever you do, like spirituality enhances that double. So I got my mental health in check and support and things like that. And then I top it off with my spiritual beliefs and my spiritual practice. I'm very open with my therapist when it comes to, and psychiatrists that I've had when it comes to my spirituality, because they do ask me like, do you smoke and things like that, and I always say yes for spiritual reasons. So I'm very open about those things, because I want to work with someone who's going to respect my beliefs. And believe it or not, there are people that are, you know, especially like younger people that are being taught when they go to school for psychology to be respectful of people's ethnic and cultural beliefs. So yeah, so I like that those changes are happening. But much love, much light, much blessings. Hopefully you like this little chit chat with me. I'm gonna go and eat my little lunch, because I'm gonna be on a lunch break, and then I have to get back and get some more work done. Okay, guys? Much love, much light, much blessings. Please like, please subscribe, please comment below. Let me know if you like this new series where we just talk about random things. You get to like pretty much hang out with me for a little bit, and we just discuss different topics, okay? Much love, much light, much blessings. Bye.